There is no shot. No shot. They did it with a non-meta comp. People are saying all the time right now that job balance is really bad. I don't know if it was ever better. Okay, hello, this is Naoki Yoshida, producer and director of Final Fantasy XIV. There has been a lot of discussion surrounding our explanation for adjusting the HP for the boss in the episodes, the 8th circle in... Okay, as well as the necessity of the adjustment itself. First, please allow me to apologize for the disruption caused by this balancing issue and for any offense. Reason for the HP adjustment. As was planned in patch 6.21 notes, a miscalculation on our part resulted in the boss's HP being roughly 1% too high in comparison to the difficulty of previous 4th stage Savage fights. Having the HP set to this higher value, however, had other undesirable consequences, including certain jobs being excluded from party recruitment. True. A growing dissatisfaction with the overly punishing degree of difficulty. So I don't know, like, I have too little information about how balanced the classes were in the past. Like, I won't believe you guys, chat, either. Like, you might tell me, like, oh, this was the worst balance so far. I don't know, because you guys are lying to me. You guys, I don't know. I maybe, like, if, I don't know, some, like, honorable mod shows up or a sphere or something, you know, I might trust, but I don't know. You can just look at FFLog's past tiers. Yeah, maybe that's the play, but I don't know how accurate those will be, because people probably killed it after as well. I don't know. We can look at that, but I don't know how the class balance was, but regardless, if content becomes harder, the people are gonna look for a more meta group. If the content is easy, they might just be like, yeah, whatever, you know, let's just play. But as it is, if people are right, even if the fight became like 1% easier, I think people would have still gone for meta people and would have still excluded people from party recruitment. I might be wrong, but I don't think so. And I would have loved to know also like how this was in the past, but yeah. As our miscalculation was the root cause of these issues, we decided that the best course of action was to explain our mistake and correct the inflated HP to the value it should have been in the first place. This type of correction has little precedence in Final Fantasy's development, and although the decision was made after considerable debate, we once again apologize for the impact it had on player enjoyment. Thank you for your apology, but it's fine. Yoshi. I did still enjoy it. It was still fun. In fact, it became more fun because it lasted longer. Source of the miscalculation. But I would have loved to know that this is going to happen. And next time I will be prepared, so you can't, even if you do a mistake, it's going to be fine. Source of the miscalculation. This issue was touched upon in the patch notes, but allow me to explain our balancing process in further detail. Firstly, the development team bases adjustments on the following premise. The top percentage of players are overwhelmingly better at the game than we are. Okay. We regret not stating this more clearly in the previous explanation, but said premise is the reason why we do not release content tuned precisely as it was when the battle team's balance testers cleared it. Boys, I told you literally last stream that I'm the type of person that will tell you I told you so. And I told you so. There is no shot. No shot. They did it with a non-meta comp. Like, there is no way. What is a lot likelier for me is that they have an internal testing team. They don't necessarily defeat the boss. They defeat the mechanics with everybody alive. And when they defeat the mechanics with everybody alive, they take that DPS check, the DPS that they did, equal that to the HP of the boss that is, you know, needed to be done, and then up it by like 2 to 3%. So they do a DPS run, and then they up it slightly because they know they didn't play like insanely good. Just played the mechanics and made it safe. That would make sense. People, like, everybody's like, oh, their balance team cleared it. No, they fucking didn't. They didn't. Or they did it with the most optimal comp. Because they don't have fucking time to just blast this out. I don't believe so. Keep reading. All right, okay. We always add a little bit extra to the boss values before rechecking the fight and releasing it live. The team responsible for balancing boss fights Does so without debug commands and at the appropriate item level, employing available materia, foods, and medicines while experimenting with mitigating actions and various job compositions. Yet we recognize that player skill far exceeds our own if we were to ship content with the same values which challenged our battle team. The top raters would be deprived of that by the skin of your teeth victory in the initial week of release. Based on this team's skill and our experience, that little bit extra usually translates to balance test clear values plus 1 to 2% HP. So I'm right. They didn't kill the boss the way it is, or okay, the way it was. So TLDR, they killed it, but congrats, because we killed it better. That's literally it. That is like the TLDR of this whole thing is, but congrats. Because it wasn't a real kill. It was a fake kill. I am happy with the fact that they came out, like no matter what, they came out and they said they didn't do it the way it was. Because everybody in this community, since I've joined it, was always telling me the raids that are out, they have been beaten by the testing team. No, they have not been. This one, they haven't been. Via just the duty rather than job balance. Now, this is interesting. And by the way, I'm super, like, this is incredible that they are providing this much detail and, you know, talking about it. Very happy with how they communicate. Okay, when balancing jobs, each job's base damage numbers at the applicable item level are adjusted with respect to the difficulty of playing that particular job and its rotation, as well as its support actions and their effects. Naturally, the above factors are also affected by the mechanics and combination thereof at work in each battle, meaning that every job's numbers will not necessarily be at ideal values during all available battles. True. In addition to this inherent variance, there are indeed times when our calculations and adjustments are incorrect, producing damage numbers lower than intended and requiring subsequent strengthening of a job. In this case, when considering job balance more broadly, the jobs that needed emergency adjustments in this fashion were Paladin and Warrior. However, the aforementioned issue with Abyssos, a circle, also caused certain jobs to be better suited to the raid than others, and made the damage check required to clear extremely strict, resulting in a situation where players felt obligated to choose jobs with higher damage output when attempting the raid. So first of all, I want to make this clear. I don't think, like, unless you do like split runs or something, I am 99.9% certain this boss was unclearable if you ran Red Mage, Summoner, Paladin, Warrior, Sage, Reaper, Machinist, the legend of them all, of course. Machinist plus any healer you want. It's fine. Take an Astro. I couldn't give a shit. Okay? I don't think it was clearable. Like, there is no, like, go at it. I mean, maybe, like, if everybody crits, but, like, on average, you do the perfect pull, the average of all perfect pulls would not defeat this fight. I do not believe it. Maybe there is a world where you can get 2, like, double LB3s by, like, really dipping low all the time. I don't know. I don't think so, though. So the TLDR, what they're saying is that because some jobs are providing stuff outside of DPS, they thought that it would be unfair to just buff them. And then let's say a Red Mage deals the same damage as Black Mage, right? Why the fuck would you play Black Mage at that point? Just take Red Mage and you can rest people. So, TLDR utility tax, yeah. The thing is, if that is true, then it doesn't make sense. Like, if this amount is true, then it should have been true for Shiva as well. It should have been true for previous tiers as well. This is the part that I'm not certain about. People are saying all the time right now that job balance is really bad. I don't know if it was ever better, or if this is the standard utility tax that is being applied. I can't tell. It's not as tight, so nobody cares. Yeah, that is that is what I think as well, Jerry Sleeps. Exactly. But people make it sound like that this is the first time that the job balance was this bad. No, it's just that the content was this bad. Now the job balance is becoming more apparent. That is what I think. I don't know. Way too little historical experience. Maybe we can check logs and figure out. If they are happy with the job balance, it makes a lot of sense to just nerf the boss instead. The question is, how happy are we about the boss balance? The job balance, I guess. And I don't know. I don't know what kind of utility, I guess, a class like Machinist brings. Is it big? Is it... I guess they can run out all the time, but all physical range can run around all the time. 0. So that doesn't make any sense, right? I think, like, Machinist was always so bad, I didn't even ever look at it. I wasn't aware. Like, am I just stupid here? Isn't the difference between Warrior and Dark Knight way smaller than the difference between Machinist and Dancer or Bard? Did they just forget about Machinist existing? Yeah, this is quite low. Machinist is... Like, the thing is, the alternative to... Actually, Black Mage is kind of good as a caster. I was gonna say the alternative to Red Mage is still not that good as Black Mage. Although Black Mages these are probably some real geared people. Actually, 10.5, not that crazy. I think we were close to that. Yeah. So yeah, probably Machinist quite bad class, but also Red Mage. Like, you can't argue with Red Mage, the utility tax, right? It does bring a res, but, you know, should it be this big? Yeah, probably not. Probably not, unless the content is easier, in which case I would potentially agree with this. You know, not having the res is pretty bad. You can save a lot of wipes with some reses, especially if the fight does allow for deaths. Which right now, it does. So Red Mage would be a good class, I would say, to progress this first boss. Like, I wouldn't be like, oh, you have to play Black Mage. Like, no, it's pretty okay. But what does Machinist bring is the question. I mean, okay, yeah, Summoner should be maybe... we're also looking at maxes here only. Summoner should be maybe a bit higher than Red Mage. That's true. I think if the boss is easy as it is, this isn't too bad. Like, people are gonna hate me because, like, I'm a Black Mage, obviously, and this looks like I'm making a biased comment. But not having the res is really bad. But the problem is that the boss was really hard and wasn't really possible almost when somebody died. So then this value goes really down, obviously, as soon as you finish your mechanical progress and want to just kill the boss. But yeah, I think this tiny bit higher I would be okay with. But, you know, with this difficulty, it's also fine, I guess. Machinist needed to be addressed. That's the TLDR. Machinist had to be addressed. Unless it's, like, so Pepega to play. Like in comparison to Dancer and Bard, it's like such an idiotic spec that they just had to apply a 400 DPS or 300 DPS skill tags. But I don't think so, bro. I feel like if they just asked like one top tier progress player, like, I don't know, just pull Sino to the side, just pull Svi to the side, get Arthurs on a Discord call, ask him like, what do you think about the job balance? They would have told you how to fix it. Like, literally one dude, a conversation with one guy, I think they would have found a fix. I don't see any top tier guild going with a Machinist committing, gearing a Machinist up. Everybody that was trying to, like, that was really serious about having a good comp, I think they ran Dancer and Nin together. And then if you wanted the big dam and you wanted to risk it a little bit, you went with a Black Mage, else you went with a Summoner. And then you went with double melee. Like, nobody would have said like, no, let's bring Dancer and Machinist in the group. And dance with the Machinist because it blasts. ADPS matters, guys. Like, no. Nobody. Doesn't exist. And there's a reason for that. Everybody fucking knows. So how can they not know? A little sus. Kinda weird. Still much better than what I'm used to. Wow.